Assalamualaikum and hello everyone, especially to my panel. I hope everyone is doing well. Today, this video is created for my presentation slide of my PSM1 with the given title, which are productivity improvement in manufacturing industry using time study and work measurement analysis. Before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Norshamira Aizat Binti Baharudin and I'm from Faculty of Manufacturing Engineering. And my supervisor is Sir Nur Akramin bin Muhammad. The outline for this presentation will begin with the introduction that content of background of study, problem statement, objective and scope of study, and we continue with literature review, methodology, and end it with the expected result. So let's begin with the background of this study. In the today competitive and the global market, and most of the companies are primarily concerned with increasing the productivity, which improve the productivity refer to increasing the production while using the same amount of resources. As mentioned from the previous study or by Nurul Nazira Mishan, by removing non-productive process and reducing the production cycle time is one thing can increase the production process, because according to Carol Boucher et al. And Soto and Y. Murata, by applying the work cycle classification method can detect the problematic situation in the workstation flow. Since each workstation is supposed to have a same cycle time, although having the various capabilities, in order to avoid the idle time and the bottleneck, because idle time and bottleneck is one thing that is one problem that can affect the improvement of the productivity. Thus, this research take initiative to use the time study and work measurement method to improve productivity process by reducing the idle time and bottleneck that occurring in the production. Next is the problem statement that always happen in manufacturing, and the potential problem from the previous case study and research are the occurs of the bottleneck and idle time. As mentioned from OSEA manuscript 2013, most of the manufacturing system have at least one bottleneck, either in the big or SME industry, because bottleneck can be appeared to the different cycle time in the workstation process. As a reference, according to the study conducted by Ms. Han 2015, the food industry production losses a 69% due to unbalance of production. As you can see from the slide, the graph show the unbalance of the cycle time, and especially toward the packaging workstation that shows the longest time of the cycle time, and due to that they will face a problem completing the product during production, and the causes of delay and extended time that also known as idle time. And this primarily causes a slowly down the process and decrease the efficiency, as mentioned from the Sezit Elahi et al. 2020. As a result, this research will concentrate on the improving the production process that have problem on the cycle time. So then, the objective of this project is to analyze the problem encountered in the production work process. Second, to implement the time study and work measurement analysis method in the production work process. And third, to recommend the alternative tool for production work process improvement. And the scope of this study is to conducted at SME industry to identify the productivity of the management system, only focusing on SME industry management system, where the strategy method will be investigated and compared to the time study work measurement method. Then, this research is focused on the time and the flow of the work processes in the production department from the start to the finish, which focus to production time and the number of cycle of the work process. And last, the analysis of system efficiency was based on the current cycle time system. So next part, we talk about the literature review. Literature review is a research from the previous case study. So the improvement of productivity is unending manufacturing activities in order to deliver the quality goods on time and fulfill the consumer requirement. But there are some causes can disturb the productive improvement, and some of them will give the greater impact on the system performance. And in this case study, we focus on the bottleneck and idle time. So the bottleneck is a work stage that receives more work requests that it can process at the full capacity. And what I found from the previous case study, bottleneck can happen due to manual production, machine breakdown, quality variation, scheduling policies, and because of the machine layout. While the idle time is a period of the time an asset, machine, or employee is ready and available but not doing anything productive. So, for the previous case study, I found that idle time can due because of the unbalanced work process or the extended time process and due to the delay of the process. So the next part, this is some of the previous case study that I found that use time study and work measurement as the method to overcome the problems that occurs in their production and use some alternative tool in order to improve the productivity. And the first previous case study that I found is Motade M et al. 2017 that produced a textile manufacturing and use method time study stopwatch, and the problem occur is to identify the bottleneck by applying the appropriate system to improve the productivity and sustain positive growth. So as a result, their productivity improved in the assembly line. Then the productivity increased by 12.71% from the previous existing line. Then the work time also reduced per piece by 9.01 minutes. So the next one is from the Abu Talib Bun, which are produced SME manufacturing. Use a time study and motion study, and the problem statement that occur is a work process was done manually. Then production take an extra time in the producing their products, then does not have any fixed or standard time for each process. And as a result of applying the time study method, the work process was decreased. Then the space utilization reduction from of the 17.78% and 13.33%. So the next one is a Khalid Al Saleh 2010, which produced automotive and used time study time study, then line balancing and simulation. And the problem is one of process consume more time compared to the other process. So the point process increase the flow time. So as a result, after applying the method, they reduce the time taken for each component, and then the output is increased dramatically, and then increased by 174.8% with no or little increase in the fixed cost. Next is a Melcamu Ebera M 2020, which produce shoes, and they use a work measurement and time study. And the problem statement is determined by a process having unweighted motion, ineffective time, and improper working condition of the worker. So, as a result, distance of the worker is reduced. Effective time in the process is also reduced. Total daily production of the manufacturing increased from 734 pair per day to the 764 per day of shoes. And lastly is a Locodona R UFA 2017, which produce a food industry, use a standard time and time study stopwatch. The problem statement is the process time is not balanced, production process is optimal and cause a bottleneck problem. Then the company define the standard production without using the standard time. So as a result, the standard time for all process are almost the same, and as problem existing production rate is increasing. So the third part is about methodology. So this chapter we explain the flow and the method to conduct this study. So this is the flow chart that show the arrangement of process to conduct this study. We start then problem statement and objective. Then we observe and identify the entire process. Then we find the problem encountered in the work process, when we collect the data, and we implement the time study and work measurement. Then there are steps to conduct the time study and work measurement. After we done that, we recommend any alternative tool in order to improve the productivity. If yes, it will conclude and we refine a report and end of the study. Then, methodology is not only about the arrangement process to conduct this study, but it's a method that we use in order to conduct this study. So the first one, to find the problem encountered in the work process, we use the Ishikawa diagram. So the second one is implement the time study and work measurement. We use the time recording tool, which are the stopwatch, in order to take the time taken of the cycle time, then the video tape to record all the activities by the employee. Then we use a time study board and a time study software in order to record the time taken, and the time study form to do the documentation. Then the last one is a recommend alternative tool, which are found from the previous case study, Yoksuda and Jutamas 2018, which shows the sum of link to be suitable with the two activity. For example, when we want to reduce the weighting of the problem of weighting, we use sum of link to the available, which are 5Y1H, total productivity maintenance, Pokayoke, circular manufacturing, and 5S. Last but not least is about the expected result during to conduct this case study. So the first one, we expect to detect and found the reason of the bottleneck and either time occurs in the work process in order to find the solution. Then the solution and technique we use of the time study and work measurement for this project can contribute to the betterment of this industry. Then by applying the time study can standardize the time for each element of work process and one finishes product. And last, the suggestion and recommend tools for improve their productivity is appropriate and can reduce the time taken and smooth at each work process flow. I guess that's all for my presentation for PSM1. Thank you for your time.